Hello everyone, my name is Salim and welcome to the Markets Breakdown Analysis for Tuesday, the 14th of November 2023. We'll be breaking down charting through the exact zones where price will close above potential buys or close below for potential sells as well. So looking at the daily candle for Monday, the daily has been extremely bullish. More likely we'll be breaking and closing out of this consolidation zone where the daily has been ranging basically within the last week. So the first thing we can see also is the weekly has been extremely bullish, breaking above the previous weekly high and hasn't really formed the bottom week either. So the first thing we have to pay attention to here is where price is trading at the moment. And the first thing we can see on the left is this is a rejection area on the weekly time frame. Now, just because of the weekly being, just because of the daily being extremely bullish, doesn't mean we're going to see continuation to the upside, and doesn't mean this is a strong confirmation for price to continue bullish. One of the scenarios that we might see is we might see the weekly forming high and then rejecting this rejection area, let's say rejecting the 186 or 187 level, retracing, forming a rejection wick to the upside and pulling back to trend bearish. So now to break down the chart, and so looking at the 4-hour time frame, and the first thing we can see it is we have this recent 4-hour support formed around 185.850. We haven't got any recent price action on here, and let's have a look on the left and what we can see. So what we can see on the left here is we have this previous daily resistance around 186. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna adjust this based on the recent price action. The first thing we can see is this current 4-hour high, I'd say around 186.320. Drop it down to the hourly time frame. We have an hourly support at 185.850. We have this hourly high. Drop it down to the 30-minute time frame. Now on the 30-minute looks really messy, and even the 30-minute candles on the left, we can clearly see how these candles are printing. When you measure each one, that's roughly measuring around 8 pips, and then this one that's 16-17 pip, but still these are small candles. So what we're going to do here is we're going to identify dino trades on, and I'd say potential buys could be above, let's say above 186.320. Potential sells, what we need to do is wait for price to break and close below 185.850, below this hourly support, and this is going to be dino trade zone. And now to look for potential buys, and going back to the daily. So the first thing we can see here is the daily candle for Monday has been extremely bullish. Now what we're going to do, we're going to look on the left, and what do we see? We have a daily, actually let's have a look on weekly. So we have this weekly rejection formed around 186.770. Drop it down to the daily, we have a daily resistance around 186.610. Zooming in and drop it down to the 4-hour time frame. Looking on the left, and what do we see? What we see here is we have, let's have a look, we have this 4-hour resistance around 186.620. Drop it down to the hourly time frame. That's also an hourly range. More likely we're going to stick to the 4-hour time frame here. And what I'm going to say here is the first target for buys, we can target 186.620, targeting this daily resistance formed on the 22nd of August 2023. The second target for buys, now going back to the monthly, and we need to refer to I'd say the previous price action. So what we can see here is the first thing we can see is we have this rejection wick on the monthly candle formed in November 2015. That's 8 years ago. Zooming in and dropping down to the weekly. The weekly, what do we see? We can see this rejection wick that was formed previously. But before that wick, what do we see? We have this weekly high that was formed around 186.950. Drop it down to the daily. Looking on the left, what do we see? Now we do have this daily high formed on the 23rd of November 2023 as well, and I don't think we can see anything with it. Actually, yes, we can see something here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna target the second target for buys. I would say targeting this daily high, which is also the weekly high that was formed on the 22nd of November 2023. And that also lines up with this previous daily resistance on the left, as we can see. So second target for buyers could be 186.950. And now to look for potential sells, and going back to the daily. Recent price action, what we can see, we have price, we have the daily candle breaking out of this range. So The first thing we can identify here is we have this previous daily resistance around 185.320, excuse me. Drop it down to the 4 hour time frame. We have this previous 4 hour resistance formed around 185.530. Zooming in and drop it down to the hourly time frame. Now we have this hourly support around 185.440. Looking at the 5-minute time frame, we have this 30-minute support around 185.600. Let's actually put a line at this level, and then looking at the 15-minute time frame, we have this 50-minute support. What we're going to do here is I'd probably again stick to the high time frame and maybe expect a retracement, I would say. So I'm going to say the first target for sells could potentially be this previous 4 hour resistance formed around 185.530. The second target for sells, now what we can see here is we have this previous daily resistance around 185.320. Drop it down to the 4 hour time frame. We have this 4 hour rejection that was formed on Monday. Drop it down to the hourly, we have this hourly rejection as well, but that lines up with this previous 1 hour resistance formed around 185.260. Looking at the 5-minute time frame, we have a 5-minute support at this level. We're probably going to target this rejection wick on the 4 hour time frame. So the second target for sells could potentially be 185.260, targeting this 4 hour wick fill.
Dominion Markets, your trading sanctuary.